Okay, it's time to review something that I should have reviewed a long time ago, but I thought I'd broken it. So I was trying to look over to try and see if I could fix it, and by the looks of it, there's nothing I can do. So I'm going to have to resort to just reviewing it as is. If I'm doing anything wrong, sorry, don't know. And we're going to review my SirToys KO MP Sideswipe. Or is it cordon? I don't know. I assume this is supposed to be a siren, but it's huge. Paying together super well, but whatever. Yeah, this is one I've had issues with since day one. Since I got it out of the box, there was something wrong with it, and I've messed with it a couple of times, and this is as good as it's going to get by the looks of it. Unless there's something I don't know, it's as good as it's going to get. Sorry, SirToys, nothing I can do about it. Maybe I got this one because it was the defect. That's usually what happens. I'm not going to complain because it's got merits of its own, but I'm just pre-warning everyone now. So it looks like that, and this should all hold together properly, but there's something about when I was getting this back end to go back together after all this time that it's all just sort of gone, no, I don't want to do it now, and now it's all just sort of like popping loose. Whatever. It's still fine. I've got a masterpiece over there, but I haven't transformed it because I'm lazy. So I'll just give you a size comparison with that and that. So it's, to be fair, that's probably roughly how big the masterpiece figure was. It's probably in this mode just a bit bigger than these sort of deluxes. So it's probably about accurate. Okay. Now, for argument's sake, we're just going to take this off because, quite frankly, it'll fall off on its own anyway. So we're going to take that off. And it's a nice enough thing. It's painted kind of pretty. Any of this white is sadly me with super glue, because I must have been really sloppy when I did this. I don't know, kids. I'm sorry. It's probably all me. There's probably nothing wrong with the figure. It's probably just me, but whatever. These things happen. Okay. So if you know how Sideswipe transforms, Masterpiece Sideswipe, well, you should watch the review I've done of him. That's my KO anyway. This is even further down the KO spectrum, quite far down actually, but it's got merit. It's quite cool in its own way, and so we're gonna get past this because it really doesn't want to hold together at the minute. Maybe I've done something wrong, don't know. So we're gonna sort of slide the legs out, which is a big difference from the masterpiece, the straight sliding legs. This is where we get really funky. I'll get onto the legs in a bit because they're where the main issues have been. Now we can fold the bonnet section down if everything's behaving. Right, you pop loose. There's a big hook there and there that goes onto the front of the bonnet. You get this loose. Now the shoulder pieces, these arms, are actually on sliders in here that slide up into the diagonal. So we're going to try and do that. Come on. There you go. See the slider in there? Don't always like doing that. Okay. This side. Slide out. Good. So that can go a bit further by the looks of it. There we go. Okay. That's as slid out as it gets. Good. At which point we can get this red section, which is sort of a big double hinge in the middle there. Double hinge that up. Now it doesn't really stay anywhere. Then this on this red piece in the middle, which is the big platform with the head on, double hinges all the way around, and this little tab goes into that little slot right there. It does. I know it does. There you go. Okay. All right. Okay. And it doesn't really lock it. It's just to say you put it in the right place. At which point we can turn the waist around. Okay. The arms extend. There you go. And the hands flip out from underneath. There. The plastic had snapped then. Oh. Okay. So we'll try and extend this one again without wetting ourselves. Come on. There we go. And flip the hand out. There we go. Keep pegging this back in. This back piece, does it just turn around if you want it to? I think it can, but I don't know why you would. Is that a problem? Was that not pegged in far enough? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Now we come to the legs. Give me a minute. We're going to separate them. Now the legs have got a slider inside here and another slider there. And this slider is horrible. So we're going to slide, and that's where the one inside the leg has stopped. And now this one, no, that's inside the leg further. And this one, oh, as far as it'll go. Okay, and now I've got to do it again. Hate doing this. It's worse going the other way. Transforming it back. Ooh. So many times I felt like I broke this figure. Ooh. And there. That is KO Masterpiece Sideswipe in his robot mode. And if I just move this up a bit so you can see a bit more detail. That looks okay, doesn't it? That looks pretty good. Apart from the chest bit not tabbing in properly, but I imagine if I tighten the joints and maybe a spot of glue on the tab to make it thicker, maybe that would help. And doesn't look that bad from the back. I mean, the head turns. It's not so bad, you know. Why do I keep doing that recently? I keep doing it so you can't see. Look, the head turns. The arms wiggle a bit in and out. There's a ever so slight elbow. He's alright. Come on, we've had worse. That's a bit loose, but if I want, I can probably get a handy dandy screwdriver. Tighten that up. There you go, now the hand isn't flopping loose, that's great. Legs are on ball joints here, so they'll move around a little bit, and then there's a little bit of wiggle because of the sliders, but not a lot. And when I first got this out, these basically were falling off. They were wriggling everywhere, they nearly fell off. So that's what the glue is for, just to put these in place. And here comes the problem with the figure. The problem. Not every... The problem. He's got no heels. Now, I kept thinking maybe this whole side piece here with the wheels rotated around and became like a heel, but there's nothing to indicate that there's a hinge of any kind to rotate that. So it doesn't. Now, maybe I could fix it. Maybe I could get some small round pieces of plastic and glue them on there like exhausts. And that would be just long enough to make heels. That's something I could do. But for so long, he's had no heels. And then there's so many other, shall we say, niggling issues that just make you think, is it worth it? Really? It's a shame, though, because the head... Come on, camera, play the game. Come on, camera, play the game. Really, camera? Really? Yeah, the head's actually really nicely done. Hollow, but really nicely done. So there is quite a lot to actually like about this figure. If I floor polish this joint in the middle, maybe... I think the issue is there's a little gap here at the back and there's nothing to stop this going that little bit further. So instead of going so far, stopping and then just tabbing into here, it can push further, which then untabs it. So if I just glue like a tiny piece of plastic in the back there, it'd stop that going so far, and then when it tabs together, it would lock better. And then if I just find some like short bits of maybe like a thick tube or something, just glue them on there, spray paint on black, make them look like exhausts, like two each side, it'd stand better. Fantastic, and I could finally trim that little bit of flash off the side of the head. But yeah, there are ways I can do it, and it would look really good, and especially considering what the Netflix show's been like. You can't have too many of the exact same figure, right? So that seems to be holding together a little bit better now. Maybe it's heard what I'm talking about. You can still plug this onto the back if you want. Turn around. Maybe it can plug into the hand. Yeah. You can do that. Don't know what it's for, but you can do that. So yeah, I don't want to say he's bad, because he's not bad, and he's actually got quite a nice bull pattern on the front, like stenciled on there. But if I'm not wrong, am I wrong in thinking bulls are Bull's Ferrari? Or is that a Lamborghini? I don't know, don't remember. But he's got a nice bull tattoo on him, so that's the thing. Could be Lamborghini, actually. They are supposed to be mental, like bulls. All power, no control. So yeah, I can't dislike him. I genuinely can't. He is interesting. He's cool. Just, if you get this figure and it is as this, it's not like I've got a bad one and that's why I've got it. You're going to have to do some work to it. That's all there is to it. But knockoffs, man. You pay for what you get. If you get a cheap one, you might have to do some work to it. It's one of those things. Sorry. I'll have to try and find some way of can I wriggle that in a bit? I can. So that'll actually come up a little bit. That probably explains why it wasn't sticking to the doors. That actually slid out a little bit. Or is it supposed to? Is it supposed to for part of the transformation? Maybe I should put a bit of oil on it. Slide it in and out a bit easier. Shut up, Belucius. But yeah, you know what? This is actually a lot better than I remember it being. Now I'm talking about on camera. Sure, fine, why not? But yeah, I'm gonna size comparison this, shouldn't I? Hang on, where is he? KO G2 Sideswipe. So let's just pan this up a little bit. Not turn it. Go on camera. So he's not a million miles off. And considering he's red underneath, I could probably spray paint him black and make him another version of that if I really wanted to. I'm not going to, but I could. So yeah, there you go. SirToys KO, like really, really KO MP Sideswipe. Just lean against your brother for a minute, there, will you? Let's bring this down a smidge. Oh, okay. So there you go. I don't know. Sorry. And on that note, yeah. I should be ugly. I should be wretched. I shall see all of you in the next one. See ya!